I like stones because they are naturally created to look like something, or it is already something. It takes an eye for somebody to see and connect with the stone to see what's in it or what it is. My name is Gedion Nyanhongo. I'm originally from Zimbabwe. I do stone sculpture. I hand carve all of my sculptures, and I brought my stones from Zimbabwe. When I was young, I used to get in trouble with my father because I used to get into my father's studio, pick up a tool which is not supposed to be used for granite. And there I am with his chisel on any granite which is lying around, and I'm using my hammer on it. And I was in trouble because I would blunt my father's chisel. And every time I wanted to go back, even though I get myself in trouble, but I find myself next time I'm in there again. And Daddy discovered that's what I liked most. So he set up some tools for me. And some stones, he says, these are your stones and these are your tools. Don't touch my tools, do this. And he gave me some soapstone and also some very soft roots of trees which are carvable. Also clay to make some sculptures out of that. And as I started to go to my primary school, we used to have what was called handcraft. Handcraft is where you create something or a sculpture by your hands. And I used to make sculptures out of clay, out of soft wood, and out of soapstone. And that's when I knew that was my passion. In class, I was in number one. I wasn't the last, but I was on the middle. But when it comes to art, I was number one. So that to me was something which I didn't take time for me to sweat to think like I used to think about mathematics or geography to know where America is from Zimbabwe and things like that. Art was just flowing out. So that's how I knew I would love to do that. And also watching my father doing it with a lot of people flying in from all over the world, that inspired me. Knowledge is power. As you grow up, you start to learn certain things which you never grew up knowing. You start to meet people with different cultures and talking and traveling, seeing certain things, and then you have it in your mind and start to think of what you want to do, which is different from what you grew up doing, as an improvement from what you started with. Hanging out with artists as well. Other artists is seeing what they do, but then it was an inspiration which was fueling my spirit of creativity to start to think of what to do better and how to do it. Yes, it has since evolved. I started with some moon heads, smiley heads, spade heads, shovel head. These were just simple, but they were powerful during that time. But as I started to know how to use tools and what the stone, how to look at a stone and try to look and see beyond just a stone, brought some difference in how I approach the stone. And as soon as I do that, it also improves the quality of the finished product, changing from what I had started using maybe some knives to scratch and just to draw by scratching. This was now chiseling, which made it more genuine and original work when you are creating. So it has evolved for sure. Meeting other cultures and traveling around the world, it has evolved from what I have started with. watching a stone as a stone, which everybody can step on and run and just think it's a stone. And when I look at it, I see far more than a stone. What's gonna be, how it's gonna be looking like because of its natural form itself. That's a hint for a third eye to see and be able to see that. So every piece of mine is different from the other because of I base my creativity on the form of the stone. I have my own ideas also, and I have dreams as well. But then I wake up or take those ideas and I look for the stone which matches the form of the stone so that I don't have to work too much to turn a round stone into a flat. So that alone, the natural form of the stone, I believe there's a living force in every stone. So I respect it by wanting to connect with the stone itself, other than just taking it and be a dictator. I want to be a conduit to listen to what it wants me to do, and then I give it back to it. I use a number of stones. I love stones in general. It could be granite, it could be marble, it could be serpentine. I love everything. I like stones because they are naturally created to look like something, or it is already something. It takes an eye for somebody to see and connect with the stone to see what's in it or what it is. So I use opal stone from Zimbabwe, serpentine, green serpentine, brown and black serpentine. I use leopard stone, lapidolite. I use dolomite. I use verdite, red jasper, and a number of others. I use all stones. Well, when you look at it, you see a smile. I'm seated there and they are walking into my booth and they look at a piece and they start smiling and backing off and trying to look at it. And that to me captures, and I'm like, that moment takes me back to my studio, takes me back to the original stone itself, just to look at it, that somebody now can see what I saw and connect with it. And later on, when somebody comes in and says, I love that. They came without plan of buying any or not knowing what I have. They come in, they say, I cannot go without that one. That's the best success in a creative world, where you can connect with you create by yourself in your studio, but you put it out there, you find somebody who is like, you made it for that person. That to me is satisfying, and that to me feels like success in what I do. It's the best platform. It's the best international platform where you rub shoulders with the international artists, rub shoulders with the top collectors of art, and when you see them acknowledging what you have done and how you are doing it, it inspires. As a person who lives in art, for art, and by art, this is my canned store, where I like to see other artists doing their work and looking at the clients when I create my work, and then they come and they connect with that. Celebration is such a platform, an international platform, I would say, not a national, international platform where the world meets, and the world meets the art they love. And I feel honored to be part of this family where we come share ideas, but each one has got their own trademark and their own line. And the belief in what you do, the belief in what I do, the connection it gives, the happiness it gives to people and families makes me to want to come back, and I feel like I belong here. So all the way from Zimbabwe, it was meant for me to be here. So I feel this is the platform where I can show all my creativity.